I want to share with you the two factors that triggered my decision to go into production on my album, and I'm dying to hear if you can relate to either of these two factors. The first one that sort of got the ball rolling and was pushing me in this direction. It's a biggie, and I suspect it's going to generate a lot of discussion in the comment section. So I'm going to carve that one off to a separate post. But the factor that took me from thinking about doing this to making the decision to get it done was the passing of my father back in May at the age of 98. It was just a big wake-up call to me about how precious time is. When you've got a parent that lives into their upper 90s, it's easy to start assuming that they're just always going to be there, and that therefore, by extension, we're always going to be here. We know that's not the case, but it's so easy to just float through life, keeping ourselves busy, filling our days typically with things that we perceive to be urgent, but really are kind of unimportant in the big scheme of things, or things which are just distractions. Meanwhile, things which we claim to be important to us, we just, keep pushing off down the road because we got plenty of time ahead of us, right? So his passing was a big wake-up call for me. And I want to ask you guys, have you had that kind of experience? It doesn't have to be the passing of a loved one, but something that woke you up and caused you to take something off your someday list and say, I gotta do this. I'm doing it. Love if you would share if you've had that experience. I need to share with you that when I made that decision, it was end of August, the first thing that went through my head was, what are you thinking? Are you nuts? You're gonna record an album, your first album at the age of 66? What? Good old self-limiting thinking. And, let's face it, in our society, there is a fair bit of programming that causes us to believe that once you're into your 60s, you're supposed to be starting to wind things down, prepare to fade away quietly into the woodwork. No, thank you. To quote Sting from his song Russians, I don't subscribe to that point of view. I'm still raring to go. So I want to leave you with two messages. First of all, to those of you who are in or near my age category, I want to ask, what's on your someday list? What's been on there too long and it's time for you to move on over onto the get it done list? If you feel willing to do so, I'd love for you to share that in the comments section. For those of you who are younger, I'm hoping that my story can be what I'll call a cautionary tale to you, because, I was once in my 20s. How did 4 years go by? I used the same excuses as everybody else. Too busy, don't have the time, don't have the money, don't have the skills, don't have the contacts. The real reason this got pushed off for 40 years is because I just never made the decision to do it. That act of making a decision is so critical. Now, I know this post is way off topic in terms of music, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on those two factors if you can relate to either of them. The next post it's going to be a biggie. It's very much music related, and like I said, I think it's going to generate a lot of discussion. So stay tuned for that one. And if you want to follow along on this journey, if you haven't already done so, just click on the link in the text of this post and you'll get notified of the next message. Anyway, cheers. Talk to you soon. Take care.